All right, let's talk about something that seems like a tiny detail but has a huge impact on your writing, the footnote. Seriously, getting this right is a total game changer for looking professional and credible. So in the next 5 minutes, we're going to walk through everything you need to master it. Let's dive in. Here's our game plan. First, we'll cover what a footnote actually is. Then we'll build your very first one from scratch. After that, I'll show you the smart shortcuts for when you cite the same source again. We'll even look at a few trickier situations and then wrap it all up with a super quick formatting checklist. So first things first, the basics. Okay, section 1. Let's just get on the same page about what we're dealing with here. A footnote is all about showing your work and adding extra info without bogging down your main argument. So you see that little superscript number? Think of it like a signpost. It tells your reader, hey, for more on this, look down at the bottom of the page. And that note at the bottom is where you put your source, or maybe an interesting little aside. Simple as that. Now, it's really important not to mix up footnotes with endnotes. Footnotes, which is what we're focused on, live at the bottom of the page they're on. Super convenient. Endnotes, on the other hand, pile up in a big list at the very end of the whole document. For this guide, we're sticking with footnotes. Let's get to the fun part, section 2, actually making your first reference. This one is the most important because once you nail the first full reference, everything else gets way easier. The actual process is a piece of cake. It's just 3 steps. You write your sentence, then, and this is key, you put the footnote after the period or comma. Your word processor will pop in the little number for you. And finally, you just type out the source info in the note that appears at the bottom. And here's what a finished one looks like. See? You've got it all here. The author's names, the book title in italics, the edition, the year it was published, and the exact page number. This gives your reader a perfect map to find exactly where you got your info. So you did all that work for the first citation. The good news? You don't have to do it again. Section 3 is all about the clever shortcuts you can use every other time you mention that same source. Check out the difference. The first time, you give the full reference, the whole shebang. But every time after that, you use this much shorter, abridged version. It's usually just the author's last names, 1 or 2 words from the title, and the page number. It keeps your footnotes clean and uncluttered. Okay, but what if you're on a roll and you're citing the exact same book for like 3 or 4 footnotes in a row, just from different pages? Well, there's an even faster shortcut for that. This is such a great time saver. Look here. Footnote 23 has the abridged reference. But for footnotes 24 and 25, which come right after and are from the same book, you literally just put the new page number. That's it. Everyone knows you're still talking about Hogg's book. But there is one crucial exception you got to remember. If you start a new page in your document, that very first footnote has to be an abridged reference. You can't just put a page number, even if it's the same book from the last footnote on the previous page. Why? It's just so your reader doesn't have to flip back a page to figure out what you're citing. It's all about being clear. All right, moving into section 4, we're going to level up and handle a situation that comes up all the time, citing a bunch of different sources to back up just one single point. So let's say you've made this really great argument in a sentence, and you've got 3 different books or articles that all support what you just said. How do you show that without putting 3 little numbers in your text? The answer is your best friend, the semicolon. It's so simple. You just list out each of your sources, one after the other, and pop a semicolon in between them. This lets you pack all that evidence into a single footnote number, keeping your main text looking super clean. Now, this leads to a pretty logical rule. Let's say your next footnote refers to one of those sources from your multi-source note. Well, you can't just put a page number. That would be confusing, right? The reader wouldn't know which of the sources you meant. So you have to use an abridged reference to be clear. We're in the home stretch. Section 5 is our final formatting checklist. These are the little polishing details that really make your work shine. Let's do a quick lightning round. Every single footnote starts with a capital letter. Every single one ends with a full stop. That little number in your main text always goes after the punctuation. Don't italicize the footnote numbers. And for that crisp, professional look, make sure the text in your footnotes is justified. And just as important, here are a few things to avoid. Don't put page numbers in your main sentences. That's what the footnote is for. Try not to use old-school Latin terms like supra. Just say above or below in plain English. And you never need to add the word above in a footnote after an abridged reference. It's just not necessary. So, when you boil it all down, a perfect footnote is way more than just a citation. It's a signal. It tells your reader that you're careful, that you're precise, and that you're credible. It shows you respect their time and intelligence. Mastering this one small detail sends a huge message about the quality of your work as a whole. Thanks for tuning in.